What's up, everybody? I'm Tamara, and this is Tam Psych Advice. Welcome to my video. And today we're gonna dive deep into, are ENFJs wild? Are they uninhibited, untamed, unrestrained, crazy enthusiastic? ENFJ isn't held back by rules, right? Wrong. They do not like to be completely restricted, and they enjoy having some freedom to move around and just be. But do ENFJs have a wild side? Do they like to party, and do they get wild while doing it? Does a crowd-wide synchronism provide a euphoric sense of intimacy? Does being all over the place, expressing themselves without a care in the world, make them feel happy? Would you consider them a reveler? Is it possible that kind-hearted, high-level, social-skilled ENFJs can have a wild side? I believe it can. In fact, I know they can. I just listened to an ENFJ marvel about a recent party experience he had, getting drunk and skinny dipping in an ocean under a starlit sky. He was on vacation with a group of new friends. ENFJs can be fun to party with when they're in the mood. They can be quite fun and even daring at times. They are extroverted and get loads of energy from hanging out with other people. And with a little liquid courage, they can feel relaxed enough to do things they otherwise might not do. Even without it, they can get charged up and make wild, bold, exciting moves. But even within the guy I just told you about, I could hear some hesitation, some doubts. Would an ESFP or ESTP have the same doubts or hesitation as an ENFJ when it comes to partying? Probably not. Enter into the head of an ENFJ. Is this the right thing to do? They'll ask. Should I take this risk? What could be the consequence? Is this something that I honestly want to do? It would make for a great story if I do this at night in the ocean. I could add it to my list of crazy things I've done in my life. I like how doing this makes me look and feel to others.
I got street cred.
What's interesting is when the helicopter shined brightly on the ENFJ and his friends in the ocean, demanding that they swim out at 2 a.m. because it was against the rules in that country, the ENFJ completely understood and complied, to the chagrin of all the other partygoers who were furious that they couldn't party all night long. What if we drowned? Asked the ENFJ. How could the hotel explain and defend that? How would it impact the resort? Makes perfect sense to the ENFJ that they were told to get out and follow the rules. ENFJs can find rules acceptable and pretty easy to follow for the most part. Rules can make them feel very safe because the truth is they don't have to party. An ENFJ really doesn't need that. They don't have to have partying in their life, even though they like people. There's some level of peer pressure and wanting harmony and not having to ruminate about being a loser or uncool and wanting to please others. They hate grappling with the thought of letting someone down because they've got plenty that they could be doing. They can satisfy themselves with intellectual pursuits and meaningful conversation. The desire to turn up, while it turns out to be a ton of fun and lively and interesting and awesome, and they look back and say, wow, that was a phenomenal experience, they could still live without it and be fine. It doesn't satisfy them to the degree or in the same way that it might an SP, sensor perceiving type. On the flip side, they can become very comfortable and at ease with certain forms of entertainment, like going gambling or trips to amusement parks. These things could become richly enjoyable to them, even if at first they are resistant. Even if there's something that their friends want to do that they really don't, they can become comfortable with routines and familiarity, and then it becomes something that they crave or that they enjoy doing over time. However, at the end of the day, they can go without it. In fact, a teenager protesting not being able to hang out at the mall with their friends might be more about not suffering the ridicule or disappointment and sadness that they will experience with their friends over the actual event itself. Why didn't you come? Why couldn't you be with us? They don't want to deal with that pressure. They may not want to actually do it anyway. So does ENFJ have a wild side? They actually have more of a rebellious side than a wild side. I remember a company party where some of the colleagues dared everyone not to munch on cookies all day as we normally would, because they wanted to set a time and control how much you got, how many cookies you ate, and they were just being incredibly difficult because it really wasn't a big deal. Let everybody eat the cookies, that's what they're there for. But they wanted to control it. It was quite silly, to be honest, and unnecessary. Everyone had contributed, and there was enough for everyone to have 50 cookies if they wanted. By 9 a.m., this ENFJ had 10 cookies in her coat pocket. You can't tell me what to do, especially when it's stupid. But I did it in a non-conflicting way. I just snuck the cookies into my pocket. So, wild side. Yeah, of course, there are going to be a few wild ENFJs out there, but for the most part, I think ENFJs can be a tamer type, not wanting to push boundaries buttons or get into trouble. And by the way, if you're interested in an ENFJ romantically and you feel some insecurities about love and you need a little help, I think everyone does in that area. I wrote a book called Flip the Script on Love by Tamara Zyon on Amazon, and I want you to check it out because I'm an ENFJ and I wrote the book. So I think you'll really have fun reading it, and I think you'll get something out of it. I'll also put a playlist of ENFJ videos that you can watch in the description box. I've actually done probably 150 ENFJ videos, so I actually have 3 playlists. You could check those out. All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, lovelies.